K Mountain Maker. Today I'm going to be making my soldering iron work again by retinning the tip. In order to do this, I'm going to need these few things: a wet piece of paper towel, a Dremel, and a sanding attachment. Regular sandpaper will also work for this. So here I am running the Dremel multi-tool, and I'm just starting to take off that kind of black layer of coating which is all over the tip. And at the same time I'm attempting to reshape it so that it has more of a wedge shape to the end of the soldering iron again. Now the tip is nice and metallic, and you can see all the way round that the black layer which had built up on there has been removed. The next step is to take some solder, remove a good amount from the tube, and I'm going to wrap this tightly around the tip. It's going to be tightly wound around that new exposed metallic area. I'm pulling on this with a fair bit of force just to get it so that it does wrap tightly. And I'm being careful at the end here not to pull so hard that I undo the whole thing. Holding the soldering iron in one hand, I'm just pushing this coil onto the tip as tightly as it will go. And here's the finished thing. The next step is to turn the soldering iron on. And now I'm going to leave it to heat up. And this coil of solder is going to retin the tip. As the iron heats up, the solder starts to melt, and the tinning process begins. In order to make sure the very end of the tip is tinned, I'm working the iron back and forth in the excess solder which has fallen off onto the chopping board. And I'm just going to keep this molten for a moment and keep the tip immersed in it just to make sure that every single part of this tip is tinned. All that's left to do is to wipe any excess solder off onto the wet paper towel. And here is the finished tip.